Hi, this is Billie Beene here with a world news flash update concerning the sun and what's going on. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriots, subscribers, suspicious observers, BP Earthwatch, Daily Excellence, Mike from around the world, Space Weather, Metro, NOAA, and some of the things we'll be covering. We have an increased probability for a kill shot from the sun, and a certainty for strong geomagnetic storms, a possibility of auroras around the globe, and a dramatic increase in the radiation we'll be receiving from the sun, how it affects human health, and effects on other items such as satellites, GPS, power grid, nuclear power plants, internet plus. So let's get started. I had a word from the Lord this morning regarding this event we're seeing unfold, probably arriving later this afternoon from the sun and continuing through the weekend and possibly early next week. And the word I had from the Lord was those areas. Let me get that. So the word from the Lord is, where my laws have not been observed, there will be much destruction. So I'm not sure what the Lord is referring to. Could it be clinics where the unborn are taken before their time? Could it be the evil and corrupt U.S. federal government? Could it be deep underground bunkers where bioweapons are being made? Could it be locations where genetic manipulation is occurring, something that God despises? Could it be those churches who have embraced the woke agenda? I do not know, but I'm just reporting what I received. So let's get started. First of all, this was imposed upon me by God. First, show where all the planets are in relation to Earth today. So we see the Earth right here, the sun, our moon, but we see all of the planets located to the right of the Earth: Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Mars, Saturn, Pluto. So I would say this is an unusual positioning of the planets. So that's going on. So we have what is coming off the sun now are 6 full halo CME'S, coronal mass ejection. So we've got 6 full halo CME'S directed toward Earth and due to hit us. We've had now I think we might be up to 12 plus X flares in the last 2 to 3 days. And we've had a NOAA report for a severe geomagnetic storm impact on the Earth. The first such report since 2005, when the Earth received radiation, more radiation than it had received in 50 years. So we see a strong radiation impact occurring on the Earth. And now we have this. Auroras also will be appearing, and now it's believed almost on a global basis. And this will impact power grids, nuclear power plants, internet, cell towers, GPS, satellites, spacecraft, plus. So that's going on. Now we have 6 full halo CME'S. At least 2 to 3 have combined. That's when you hear the term cannibal CME'S, because they combine the and so that makes it much more powerful. Now in 1859 we had what's called the Carrington event, that at that time the power impact was to take down and destroy all telegraph wires and lines, and some of the telegraph operators were actually electrocuted by the current going through the telegraph. So this afternoon, I believe I will unplug all of my computers, my laptop, my modem, because it's reasonable to believe this radiation impact could then come through our electrical lines. Now in Texas, we have a separate power grid from the rest of the U.S., and it's my perception that the Texas power grid has been hardened against such radiation events. So that's going on. And we have this from Suspicious Observer Ben Davidson this morning. 6 CME'S, X-class, more coming in. We just had another one a little while ago, last couple of hours. They're going to hit Earth this afternoon. They're coming from AR 3664, a large sunspot on the sun that rivals the size of the sunspot that did cause the Carrington event in 1859, roughly 16 times the size of Earth. And we have, we've had 6 full halo CME'S erupt from the sun in the last 2 days due to impact the Earth anytime and continue for the next 2 to 2.5 days. Now this morning, Ben Davidson was putting the probability of a geomagnetic storm with its associated KP index, so a G storm and KP index. This tells us where we can expect to see auroras. And he was up to, actually NOAA has put out a G4 prediction. That's the strongest geomagnetic storm warning they've given in years. But Ben Davidson, I believe, believes it could possibly go up to a 5 KP index to indicate where we would see auroras. Ben is putting 60% chance for a KP8. And he's also giving, KP, and also up to possibly a 9 category. 9 or 10, we'll see auroras around the globe. And he's upped the Killshot 2 days ago. He gave it 5%. Friday, yesterday, I think it was 10%. Today, it's up to 12%. The Killshot would be like a Carrington event and take down many of our modern technology, satellites, GPS, cell towers, power grids, and so on. So that's going on. So we know what to pray against, don't we? Now, Ben is putting the impact of this intense radiation and energy from the sun Local, we should see 80% impact. Regional, 60%. And the Killshot at 12%. That would be global. Now, Mike from around the world, who was on Pastor BEGLEY's Thursday night program, I'll link that for you, is talking about the impact on nuclear power plants, whether they're operational, turned off, and including spent fuel rods. So, I did a map of where we have nuclear power plants in the U.S. Washington State has 1. California has 2 to 3. No, California has 4. And we have Delaware has 3. Georgia 4. Texas has 4. Illinois, these are talking about the plant and the reactor. Illinois has 11, Alabama 5, New York 7, Florida 5, South Carolina 6, Indiana 5, Michigan 4, Pennsylvania 6. But all in Texas, we have the 2 power plants. It must be 4 reactors they're counting. 1 is located in Somervell County near Fort Worth. The second is located in Matagorda County near Bay City. So you see all the red marks. Let's see. Of the U.S., primarily we have them on the east side of the U.S., and we have many states who have none. And that is New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, North Dakota. All the other states do have nuclear power plants. So I'm sure, reasonably sure, that definitely our nuclear power plants have been hardened. Now, we have more information about what is going to be the impact from the 6 CME'S we have incoming. That may be the first time in certainly modern human history. So Ben Davison, from the 6 CME'S, we're going to see a dramatic increase in radiation. That's going up, direct impact on humans, animals, plants. And we will see, and also BP EARTHWATCH brought that out. We see increased pressure on tectonic plates. We see an impact on weather. And we see an impact on earthquakes occurring. In meteorology and the weather, and we've been seeing these intense storms across the U.S., my perception is these storms, tornadoes, an increased size, and hail. Now, these are things that Mike from around the world predicted we would see as we have a binary sun now on the edges of our solar system. So in meteorology, we will see an intensification in storms, both in intensity and the number of storms, because this will directly impact the jet streams, and we will see this for the next 10 days. We will see that some of the health impacts is heart, blood pressure, cardiac events, autoimmune system impacts, migraines, seizures. I know I saw on one site where I was getting information, an individual commenting said his wife always gets intense migraines when there's increased radiation from the sun. So, and psychologically, it could bring about certainly restlessness, fear, anxiety, depression, So that's why I say it's good to find out what is the sun doing today. Technologically, we could see an impact on the power grids, the internet, cell towers. We have that going on. So Ben Davidson is giving out this information. Internet, we could have locally a glitch all the way to an outage, and it's 50-50 on the takedown of the power grid. And we have this. Auroras will be down to low latitudes. Now, BP EARTHWATCH is saying we have a 60% chance for more X flares from sunspot 3664. BP gave that out yesterday, and we just had one today a couple of hours ago. And during the Carrington event in 1859, we had auroras from Cuba to Hawaii. Now, BP is giving out some practical information regarding solar panels, what to do. So I'll link his video for you. And we have this. So we have from BP, we've had the X flares going off, and BP brought this out. Before I think that earthquake was like a 9 magnitude, Fukushima, Japan. A few days before that earthquake occurred, we had similar events of several X flares. So that could be going on. Now, BP is bringing this out about the plasma density around the CME'S. The plasma density is much more dense than we normally see, and he is saying normally we see plasma density, the energy around the CME coming in, is usually at a 30 to 40% density. Now we're seeing with these recent X flares coming in, the plasma density is 90% plus. So we see much stronger CMEs coming in than we normally see. Now, yesterday, BP predicted we would begin to see the impact of the CMEs late this afternoon, Friday, about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be 6 p.m. in Central U.S. time. Now, Ben Davidson this morning stated we may possibly begin to see the impact of the CMEs at any time and sometime this afternoon, so earlier than BP was putting forth. BP puts this forth. So increased earthquakes occur because radiation goes inside the earth. It raises the temperature of the earth's core, and that leads to more earthquakes. And BP puts forth, and I believe Ben Davidson also did, 60% chance will the X flares continue. The sun is waking up. We have from NOAA an alert type 2 radio alert because these CMEs will impact satellites, spacecraft, and also radio signals and ham operators and so on. Now from Metro, NOAA's giving a warning, the first since 2005. And in 2005, when NOAA gave the warning they're giving now, radiation was the highest to hit Earth in 50 years, and it set off radiation detectors, and radiation detectors are set around most nations. And we can expect impact GPS power grids to last over several hours. I predict, since it's coming in sometime this afternoon, possibly late this afternoon, and to last all weekend, and we're seeing even this afternoon more X-flares firing off. This could last all weekend and into early next week. And we will see auroras in much of the northern hemisphere. I believe we may possibly see auroras on a global basis. So that's going on. So this concludes my flash. And in terms of practicality, if we have this come in, affect our power grid, it could possibly shut off availability of gasoline at service stations, because service stations need electricity to pump gas. So you may want to get some gas. It may also impact our banks. So you may want to get some cash. You may want to stock up on like food, water, medicine, and so on. So this concludes my flash. I love you, and I'll see you soon.